All right, so I am just doing this video to show how to do an image, like an actual image as a background for like a hero section in GenerateBlocks. Um, because, yeah, somebody had asked about it on Facebook. Um, the problem with, there is, of course, the option to use a background image in GenerateBlocks. So you could, right here, you could add a picture. You could use a gradient on it if you want, and that's like easy and whatever. The problem with that is that it will not show up in the DOM, so it's not great for accessibility. So the way I have this one done, we can see here, so we have a figure class, which has an image in it. And you can see right here, has sizing. It has the alt title, source sets. So it's got different sizes of images the browser can choose to serve up. The problem with using a CSS background image is that it does not show up in the code. So like a page reader, that kind of thing would not really be able to find it. It wouldn't help with SEO and stuff, really, because the image itself is actually in the CSS, and the CSS is not being crawled as a source for SEO and stuff, from what I understand. So let me actually just add a second container here, an inner container in it. We will go back to the outer container. We're going to add a background image from the media library, grab that. And we're going to, okay, it's on cover, it's on center. We're going to use a gradient. And let's just do black. Let's see here. Why is this not? Let's just go ahead and add in a headline. And, okay, here we are. So now what I need here, this outer container is basically working as a section. So let me do some padding. Okay. And then in this container, I want my typography to be white. Okay. Actually, for this picture, I'm going to have this inner container be flex, and let's column, and let's shove the text over there and center it up. Okay, let's just add some text, and let's add a button. Okay. So let me save that, and let's just go view this here real quick. Okay, so this is that other one I was showing you. Now down here, let's go ahead and inspect this and see what the difference is. So we have our outer container, which has an inner container in it, and inside of that, we have the headline, the paragraph, and the button. So, where is the picture? It is applied to this container right here, but there's no button in the DOM here. Because, I mean, there's no background picture in the DOM because that is in the CSS. So over here, we have the background image URL. So, for accessibility or for content, this is not going to show up when Google crawls this page or whatever. So that's why it's better to do it this way, where the image is actually there. So you can see right here, we have a figure class. Inside of that, we've got the image with the alt title, as well as the source set sizes. So browsers can pull size of image that they think is appropriate, that kind of thing. So how do we build this in GenerateBlocks? It is a bit convoluted in GenerateBlocks, unfortunately. I'm going to just add a new page here. So we'll just call this new page. Let me just publish that. So I'm going to just kind of work through building this. Now, I'm not an expert with CSS or anything, so just bear with me here. So we're going to add a container. Inside of that, I want an inner container. So let's just see what we have. We have two containers. The outer one is basically going to be, we'll just call this section. GenerateBlocks does not have a separate piece for a section. So basically a container just works as a section. So down in advanced, I can actually give that a section tag. And then we need some padding for the section. So I'm going to just do 5 rem on the top, 2 rem on both sides for the gutter, and 5 rem on the bottom. Okay, so that's our section. In our container, we're going to add a headline, some text, and a button. Okay, so if I save that, I'm going to view the page in a new tab. So let's take a quick look at that. So here it is. So let's get an image in there. Now the image is actually going to live outside of this inner container. So I'm just going to close that down. We're going to add after, and this is going to be an image. There's the GenerateBlocks image. And we'll just grab this image from the media library. Let me actually add the alt text here. Okay, city along a coast with waves in the ocean. Select. Okay, so we have that there. So if I just save that right now, of course it's going to be down below, but we want it behind. So the image block does not have settings here. Now I only have the free version of GenerateBlocks installed here, but I think it's the same on the Pro version. So that means we're going to actually be writing some CSS. So for now, I'll just put this in the customizer. Get rid of this. Okay. So we need to give that image a class. So let's just say absolute, or let's do this class as just position absolute. Okay, so I'll just save that. We're going to go back over here. So we need to target that class. It's a Let's pop the period in there. Okay, so what we want to do with this is we want position to be absolute. Okay, I actually also need to make the section position relative. Okay. So the section, the outer container is relative. The image should be absolute. So now I'm going to give the image some coordinates. So I want it to go out to the edge on all four sides. So top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, so let's publish that. Get rid of that. Okay, so now the image is there, but it's covering up the heading and the button and all that. Now, unfortunately, with Gutenberg or the block editor, the back end is just kind of a mess. So, what I'm seeing back here is not what I'm seeing on the front end. But back here, I'm going to do this container, which has in it the button, the heading, and the paragraph. I'm going to give that a Z index of 1. And that should have brought it forward. Yes, now it's on top. So I'm also going to, for this, I'm going to display it as flex, as a column, and then I want to push it over on that side and center it up. I think that fits better in this picture. Now, another thing I need to do is this, let's see here. Object fit I'm going to do as cover. And the section height, I want to do that. Let's just do, let's say 40 rem for now as the height. And I go over here. Now that's not being reflected here because the picture is actually overflowing. What I want to do for the section is the overflow I want to set to hidden. So there's that. So I'm just trying to figure out here. Sorry, I'm not like a great expert at this. I'm going to set the section to flex as well. Just center that up. Okay. So let's see if that centered our text down. Oops, that's center. I don't want that. We'll try that. You know what? Maybe if I set this width to 100%. I'm just trying to get the text. There we go. I think that's going to work. Over to that right side. Because I think, there we go. Okay, so now it's centered vertically and it's on the right side as far as the left to right. Okay. You know what I should also do is set this page to full width. That should look better. There we go. So now that should do. Okay. So the page is full width. So now that image, that section is stretching all the way to the edges. The inner container, though, is containing the text and the button and stuff to the width that I have set for the site. Okay. What I'm going to do is this container, which has the content in it, I want to set for all the text in there, I want to set the text to white. So, boom, there's the text white. And so all I really need now is a gradient overlay to darken down the image a little bit so the text stands out a little better. So for that, I'm going to add another container into the section, or into the outer container. So this is going to be at the same level in the hierarchy as the image, basically. So I'll do add after, and where is this? Here it is. That'll be a container, and that's going to be our overlay. So I need to give it a class so that I can use some CSS to position it. So let's just call this overlay. And for right now, just so we can see what we're doing, I'm going to set the background color of it to red. And let me just rename this here as overlay. Okay. So I'm going to go back into the customizer to the CSS. This time I'm going to target the class overlay. And actually, I want the same instructions for this as for the image. So boom. So basically I want it position absolute, and then I'm having it stretch to the top, the right, the bottom, and the left edges. So it's filling in that section that it's relative to, or that the relative section. So now I'm going to publish that. So that's positioned. It's filling the whole thing. It's covering the image. What I need to do now is, let's just do like a black. So that would have made the overlay black. And then go back into color, and I'm going to pull the opacity down to, let's say, 65%. And let's see what that does for us. Okay. So now it's darkening up the image, but the text here is in front of it. So that basically accomplished what I was looking to do here. Now, if this was a home page and this was a hero, you would have your menu bar up top. And then this is actually the page title. I don't have GeneratePress Premium on here. Premium, you can hide different elements of the page. So I can hide the page title, and that would take this away. So for right now, let's actually just inspect this and see if I can entry title as the class. So what I'm going to do is, just for now, entry title, display none. Okay, so that took that away. Okay, so with GeneratePress Premium, of course, I can do that on the back end with the setting. So it probably actually still has some space up here. Yeah, there's still, what is that? There's still too much white there. Content area, site main. So yeah, just hiding it, it still left some space there. So that's not ideal. But anyway, I'm not gonna install GeneratePress Premium on here for the sake of this video. So let's just inspect what we have down here. So we have our outer section, which is a section. Then we come in and we have our inner container, which has our headline, the text, and the button in it, which is here. And then we have the figure class, which is wrapping the image. If I open that up, we have our image in here. We have our alt text, city along a coast with waves in the ocean. And then we have our source set with different image sizes that a browser can choose from depending on the size of the device. So that's there. And then of course we have another div here with, this is our overlay. So that would be how you could do that in GeneratePress, GenerateBlocks. Now, of course, what I did is not very responsive. I set it at, that section was set to, I think it was 30 rims tall, which when I come down here to mobile sizes, of course, that's not lining up right. So to make that work, we could actually just go in here to the section. Where is my height? Okay, here's, oh, it's 40 rem. So coming down, I could do maybe, I don't know, let's say 60 rem, come down to mobile, and let's do 100 DVH. Okay, so let's just see what that did for me. So we, sorry, I'm inspect this so it, okay, so we, still having some issues here. What could I do? This image set, oh, let's set this to cover. That might help us out a whole bunch right there. Maybe not. So I don't know exactly what it is set to cover here. What if I do 100% height? Let's try that. Okay, so that's, yep, that's doing better there. Okay, so anyway, something to play around with. It's certainly not super simple to do it in GenerateBlocks. A number of the settings that would be for this are not really available in the UI, so it involves some CSS. And then the backend editor experience leaves a lot to be desired as far as it not looking like it looks on the front end. But I think that pretty well accomplished what I was trying to set out to show how to do. So yeah, let me know if I'm missing something or if there's a better way to do it. It does look like looks like we might want to do 100% on the width as well. There we go. Now that's going out beyond and shrinking. Okay. And it looks like that headline is going when left aligned at smaller sizes. Let's just take a quick look at that. The headline. Align it right. Let's see if that took care of it, or if I need to set it on the smaller sizes. Okay, now it's staying on the right. Okay. Leave comments on this video if you have ideas of how to do this in an easier way or anything like that. Like I mentioned, I am not great at CSS, and so I could be missing something that would make this better. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.